Hello, my name is Nicole, and my persuasive speech is over the damaging effects of global warming and what we can do to preserve the Earth. So first of all, I will explain the causes of global warming and what it's doing to the weather. According to author Christopher Spence, the greenhouse effect is the way how our Earth traps heat and sustains warmth. The heat from the sun strikes the Earth, and the atmosphere traps the heat. Our atmosphere is just the right size for our planet to sustain life. If it was too thin, the heat would not stay trapped and we would freeze. Carbon dioxide plays a huge role in this, being the gas that is responsible for trapping the heat from the sun, creating the greenhouse effect. In 2001, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change confirmed that the 1990s had been the hottest decade since records began 150 years before. They also found that the average temperature had risen 1.1 degree Fahrenheit, which may not seem like much, but it is an unusual movement from the patterns before. Since the Industrial Revolution, the burning of fossil fuels has caused a dramatic rise in the CO2 levels. Author R.G. Watts wrote that CO2 annual emissions grew by about 80% between 1970 and 2004. This has caused an alteration in our long-term weather, which we have seen in the past 50 years through disasters around the world such as extreme intensity and frequency of rainfall due to the increased atmospheric moisture. In fact, the number of tropical storms in the last half of the 20th century was double that in the first half. In other parts of the world, more rapid evaporation of moisture from plants, soils, and reservoirs causes devastating droughts and heat waves, resulting in an increased number of heat-related deaths in the summer. These rapid changes we are experiencing have little to do with nature and seem to have everything to do with us. So what is global warming doing to my planet? There are numerous occurrences that show evidence of damaging effects of global warming. One of these consequences is that the largest ice shelf in the Arctic has broken up. According to author Natalie Goldstein, the decline in sea Arctic ice shows a trend of ice loss over 600,000 square kilometers per year. That's a 7.4% decrease each decade. Bernstein wrote that partial loss of ice sheets on polar land could in turn cause the sea level to rise. This would create major changes in coastlines and flooding of low-lying areas. It would also greatly impact river deltas and low-lying islands. These changes are projected to occur over time, and as the sea levels rise, it will cause flooding, storm surges, erosion, and other coastal hazards, thus threatening the livelihood and the settlements and facilities of island communities. So how does this affect all of us? Professor Chris Thomas, author of Report Extinction Risk from Climate Change, stated that over 1 million species could be threatened with extinction as a result of climate change. According to Goldstein, the extinction rate will be 30% for all species in a temperature rise of just 1.5 to 2.5 degrees. If it reaches an increase of 3.5 degrees, she predicts a rate of 40 to 70% of all species extinct. According to Spence, this affects all of us another way by the spread of disease, including West Nile virus and malaria. These are carried by mosquitoes, and because of the shifting warmer weather, they are spreading further than they ever have before. Any degree of global warming that extends the area of the world that the carriers inhabit can increase the potential for the spread of these kinds of viruses. Author Christopher Spence stated that more than 100 million Americans live in areas that fail to meet air quality standards. This atmospheric pollution can cause various respiratory problems such as asthma and can contribute to cardiopulmonary disease and lung cancer. So what should we do to protect the Earth? There are a number of easy ways for all of us to reduce CO2 in the atmosphere. Author Lori David noted that turning on a light switch uses energy that is likely made in a way that creates global warming pollution. So an easy way to cut back on energy emissions are by being conscious of turning off anything electrical when not using them. About 10% of your energy bill goes to paying for energy that you don't even use. The Natural Resources Defense Council states that another way to help stop global warming is to drive an efficient vehicle. High-mileage cars such as hybrids use less gas and save money. Over its lifetime, a 40-mile-per-gallon car will save roughly $3,000 in fuel costs. Also remember to keep your tires properly inflated. Gasoline used across the nation would decrease by 2%, and a new air filter could get you 10% more miles per gallon. Another way to diminish CO2 in the atmosphere is by the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Spence said to buy products that have recyclable packaging. Also try buy materials that have already been recycled. Reduce the amount of consumer goods that you buy, and this way we can reduce waste by cutting down on the packaging and trash that we produce in the first place. In conclusion, there is hope that we can slow or even stop the damage we are doing, which can give us a brighter and happier future. I hope this has opened your eyes and moved your heart to care about how we treat our world. Each of us can make a difference in preserving and protecting the gift that we have been given. Thank you.